Welcome everybody to the Sunday service at the People's Church.
I was just talking about you.
I'd like to ask everybody to silence their cell phones unless they're medical or law enforcement personnel. Reverend Steve Adkins, I'd like to welcome you to the Sunday service of the People's Church of Divine Prophecy. Thank you all for coming here, sharing your light and your hope, braving the bike traffic, and giving up part of this beautiful sunshiny day to be here. I'd like to have Gail light the candle symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit to start the service. We're all here today. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the first hymn. Dear Father God, we give thanks for this wonderful gathering here today. May we truly feel your spirit and each other's spirit within. May we come together, express that joy and happiness in thought, word, and deed. And may we feel the joy and peace that this brings. May we share this light, this hope, and carry it with us forth from this moment. Amen. Amen. Next portion of the service is a thought for the day from the pastor. I guess I've been feeling most of the week, and I've ridden my motorcycle 6 out of the last 10 days. So I'm really enjoying Florida. You know what I worked so hard for. I guess a lot of what's been coming to me is just gratitude. I know at certain points in my life I've been wanting something else and trying to get something else, and that consumed most of my waking hours instead of enjoying what I've got. And I'm coming down the highway on my bike and the sun's shining in Florida, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm in Florida. It's a sunny, beautiful day. I'm on my motorcycle, and it's a Harley on top.
I'm sorry.
So I'm smiling bigger and bigger every time I think those thoughts. You know? So, you know, and it was like when I got up this morning, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm filling up my Brita pitcher, and I'm going, you know, there's places in the U.S. and around the world where people spend the first half of their day getting enough clean water to last the rest of the day. Here it is coming right out my spigot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, all the conveniences of living here. My brother-in-law married a Chinese girl, and she lived in China until she was 40. Come over here after they got married. She couldn't believe that they made cake mixes pre-mixed in a box. She literally thought we were pulling her leg. So, you know, it's just so different. You know, we have so many conveniences, and it'd be so easy to lose those things. I mean, you know, it's you have to take a lot on faith every day when you get up. And you have to appreciate everything you get given to you or is delivered to you. I open my fridge up, and I do my own shopping, and it's just packed with fruit and food. You know, just every time I reach in there, I get something healthy if I want it. So it just was a morning of just appreciating what was going on. And then, of course, I put on a rock and roll CD. And the group I heard, I got their CD up there at the Cabbage Patch called Pine Top Lightning, and it was added to it. So, I remember one day we were in this class, in a meditation class, and somebody said, "What kind of music do you like to listen to?" I said, "Oh, AC/DC, and some good hard head banging rock and roll, pretty much." And it was a shock.
I know how you feel.
But you know, you have to enjoy your life. You have to enjoy who you are and celebrate who you are. I mean, somebody told me one time that there was a good exercise when you're feeling down and you don't think anybody's appreciating you. You raise your hand up, incline it to 45, pat yourself on the back. You know, because you can always pat yourself on the back, even if nobody else is. So enjoy yourself, celebrate who you are. Try not to hurt anybody intentionally. I mean, some people just can't help it. Just being who you are, you hurt their feelings. But you just don't do it intentionally. And celebrate who you are at every breath, at every turn, and appreciate that which is given to you to allow you to be who you are. And I think that each day will become better and better for you. That don't mean we're not going to wake up some mornings and have the world fall on us. But with faith in who you are, faith in the higher power, the divine creator, whatever you want to call that spirit, you know that everything changes, and you know that you're going to get by it and through it. I just had those thoughts this morning. Thank you for letting me share them. Please stand for the next hymn.
Let's do hymn number 6 in the gold pages. Kumbaya. Let's see. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord. Kumbaya. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Oh Lord. Come by here. Someone singing, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya.
Please be seated. Just something I didn't mention I was really grateful for is this church. Every Sunday I come here and all you good people show up and put your energy and love into it, and that definitely makes my day and most of my week. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here and allowing this church to be what it is. Everybody that comes has something special that they add to it. The next portion of the service is the healing portion. Let's see. Are you going to heal today, Lorraine? Okay, let me have Lorraine and Judy take the position beside her in the chairs. During the meditation that Ashkhen is going to lead, you'll hear a chime like this, which means that the healing chairs become vacant. We put extra chairs in the back, so if you get up and there is not a chair where the healers are, you can sit in the back and I'll move you up to the front. I'd like to start this service by a portion of the service by reading the prayer for spiritual healing on the back of the hymn. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. I'm failing in my sound technician duties here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's get ready for the meditation. Sit in a comfortable position where there is no tension on your physical body. Just sit relaxed. Feet straight on the ground, palms up in your laps. Take a few deep breaths, inhale and exhale. Close your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. With your exhale, just let go if there is any tension in your physical body. Let go of the thoughts that are occupying your mind. Any concerns, any worries that you may have. With your exhale, just breathe it out for now and let it go. Bring your awareness to your breath. Engage with the rhythm of your breath. As you breathe in and out, feel your breath taking you deeper and deeper within yourself to a very peaceful and quiet presence. Connect with this peaceful presence. While you breathe, repeat to yourself quietly, I am at peace within and with my surroundings. With each inhale and exhale, I am at peace within and with my surroundings. In the presence of God, mighty I am presence, I now call forth the divine healing energy to be here at this time and to provide each one of us with the healings that we need for our mind, body, and spirit. As we call upon the law of forgiveness, we forgive all those who have hurt us. We forgive those who have caused us pain and suffering. We forgive and we detach with love. We let go emotions of fear, anger, resentment. We let go of whatever is holding us back from achieving our highest potentials. We let go of situations, circumstances, relationships, friendships that are interfering with our spiritual growth. We let them go to the light of God that never fails. We ask God the omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, to be in charge of our lives, our existence, our soul and spirit, while we are here in this physical plane, on earth and beyond. While you breathe, shift your awareness slowly higher to your forehead. Become aware of your third eye in the center of your forehead. As you look through your third eye, envision a brilliant, a source of golden light. Feel the energies, see the energies from this divine source coming straight to your forehead, spreading in and around your forehead and at the top of your head, healing and clearing your mental body. Release and let go of all the thoughts that are limiting your highest potentials. Feel this energy activating your infinite creativity and infinite potentials. Feel this golden energy moving slowly to the back of your head, going in and around your two hemispheres, healing the neurons in your brain, activating the pineal gland, and opening the communication between your right and left hemispheres. Feel the data from your right hemisphere transmuting to the left, and balancing. Focus on your right hemisphere for a minute. This is where your intuition is. The divine source of knowledge and wisdom. That speaks through your intuition. The inner voice within that seeks your highest good and the highest good of all. Become aware of your intuition, the inner whisper, the voice of truth that speaks within. Make a connection. And in times for guidance, follow your intuition. For it will lead you the way. It will guide you to where you need to be. Become aware of this infinite source of knowledge and wisdom that is within. Feel this golden energy moving down to your neck, to your throat, healing and clearing, balancing your throat chakra, enhancing your communication skills, enabling you to speak your divine truth. See the energy moving down to your shoulders, beautiful, holy, healing energy, extending to your arms, to your hands, to your fingers and fingertips. Feel this golden energy moving back up and filling your entire chest, your back. Just follow it as it moves within your body. It clears the blockages, touches the organs in your physical body. Renewing the cells, the tissues. Healing the protons, the molecules. Activating the electrons. See every single atom in your body vibrating with this healing energy. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the energy moving gently and slowly around your heart chakra. Healing, balance, and opening your heart to the presence of unconditional love and compassion. Feel this golden energy moving down to your lower body, your stomach, lower abdomen, touching and healing your emotional body. Let go of feelings of sadness, hurt, pain. Let go of events that have scarred your emotions. Make a conscious effort to release, let go, and forgive. Make peace with it for your own sake. Just make peace with it. As you release and let go, feel this golden energy activating your true emotions, feelings of love, joy, happiness, acceptance. As you let go, feel a sense of release and relief, upliftment. Swallow the golden energy, moving gently down to your knees, down to your feet, and see it going out through the bottom of your feet, extending deep into the ground, anchoring you to the earth. Feel this golden light extending further out, outside your physical body, healing your aura, filling it with brilliant light, stabilizing your electromagnetic field. Take a look at your body through your mind's eye. You are inside this beautiful golden circle of light. Your mind is at peace and your body at ease. Feel your peaceful breath and the quietness of your mind. This is your divine presence, the true state of your consciousness. Let this vision integrate deep, deep into your consciousness. See yourself as a brilliant sun, projecting golden rays, reaching everywhere around the world, touching humanity. See your light creating a shift in the consciousness of humanity and of the earth, towards peace, love, unity. Just see lights everywhere, around the earth. Just see cities of lights. And know that you are the light of God that never fails. Stand tall in your divinity and let your light shine wherever you are, whatever you do. Just be the light that you are. Be the love that you are. your highest intentions for light to prevail on earth. Let there be light on earth. Let it begin with us. Let there be love on earth. Let it begin with us. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with us. Feel your breath. Slowly bringing you back. Engage with your physical senses. Come back slowly to the here and now. When you're ready, you can open your eyes.
The next portion of the service is our inspirational lecture. Today we have Reverend Diane Davis from the Casadega Spiritualist Camp. Currently, she's been from a lot of other places, but other than that, but that's where she currently resides and adds her support and light to. She has quite a number of years. I know ladies don't like it to indicate in any fashion their age, so I'm not going to say how many years, but
Sometimes don't.
I was heard once you're over 60, it's okay. Everybody tells you how young you look when you tell them you're 60. But she has had quite a number of years teaching and demonstrating spiritual talents and gifts, helping people along their path, privately, publicly, in classes, or as individuals. She's done, I remember her doing seminars on nutrition, on health, and was it vitamins or something at your house? You were doing some nutrition seminars? No, I remember you doing something.
Somebody said that I'm a healer, and I'm not. I've never been a healer, so I'm just happy to add things to my.
Well, you could heal with
I
words.
take vitamins. Does that count?
She's been in Casadega longer than I have, and I've been there since 1986. So, she was a certified medium and teacher when I came out there, and she always has a lot of humor with what she does. So please welcome Reverend Diane Davis.
Good morning.
Morning.
I absolutely have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Well, that's not quite true, because I always get inspired in the shower. I know none of you are like that, but I do. And so I had ideas, and then I started singing songs, and it lost its momentum. And then I had ideas in bed last night when I couldn't sleep. Do you ever go through that? Well, and then I thought, no. And then I realized, because yesterday I had the good fortune to read for 4 different people, women, and they came in twos, 2 in the morning and then 2 later in the afternoon. And each one of them are facing different circumstances in their life, and I really started recognizing how much stronger we are than we ever believed, and how much stronger you are than you ever believed. And the same with me, that I am. And the recognition of this is an interesting thing, because the woman that I spoke with, I've been reading for her for years, and 3 years ago, her husband passed away. And it wasn't unexpected, but nevertheless, it was a trauma for her. And when she came to me last year, she was in very deep depression. And grief is grief, and loss is real. And so it's not to try to talk someone out of experiencing those emotions. It's just to say, is there more life ahead, or do you want to hold on to those things and keep them as your ball and chain around your foot and moving forward? So last year when she was with me, I said, I know you're not going to believe this, and I know you don't really want to hear this yet, but it's time to take off your wedding ring. Well, for her, it was a very indignant emotion and moment, and she's a lovely woman, just lovely. And I knew it and encouraged her to allow her life to expand and open up to other people, because she is lovely and loving. And so yesterday when I sat with her, I hadn't seen her for over a year, and I read for her, and while I was reading for her, I was getting all these nice things for romance, and I'm thinking, oh boy. And I finished, the way that I work is to read first and then ask afterward. And so we were in the talking phase after the initial reading, and she said, I've met the love of my life. And I said, oh my. And she's 67, and he's 72. It's just the dearest story. Well, anyway, she didn't ask me to tell you, and so I'm not going to tell you who she is, because you're not going to go put a marquee in her yard that says we know who you are and where you live. So, but the neatest thing is this, and this is the strength. Because of the fact that I had mentioned to her that she would get a phone call, that this would be coming like a phone call and casual, and that, you know, to make of it whatever was appropriate for her. And so it turned out that this gentleman knew her professionally and then called her personally just to ask her, because he lives up in a northern state. I won't tell you when, where, in case she ever watches this talk. Anyway, that he lives in the north, and he wanted to show her the snow. And he said, can I send you pictures of the snow? And she said, well, sure. So the next thing after the phone call is a series of emails, exchanges of pictures, sharing of people. She already knows parts of things about him because of the nature of the professional affiliation. So the beauty of it is she wakes up one morning, and here it is. All of us have had this. She woke up one morning, and she said, And she called him, and she said, how would you like to have company on your birthday, which is next month? And he said, I love it. And she said, I'm flying up. Now, this woman does not like to fly. Ever been there? Ever done that? Where you take a step because of something that is pushing you, prompting you. Ashkhen called it inner voice, inner wisdom, inner truth, whatever you called it. I didn't rephrase it correctly, sorry. But there is a place within each of us, and it's the spirit of us that moves. And all of a sudden, she did what she did. So she's sitting across from me yesterday, and now she's getting nervous about flying. And I said, you're fine. What do you feel is the impetus that gives you the feeling of focus and direction to take a step? To take a step that just says, yes. It's the passion within you. It's the participation within you. It's the opportunity that you're seeing. It's the infinite choices that can work out of it. And I said, stop creating a script of how it turns out. Allow yourself to enjoy the discovery and the moment. All of our lives, we have these moments. And you've heard me say, some of you have endlessly, that our lives are tapestries of moments tied end to end. Every moment is as important as the next. One thing that you've done today could be the very important thing that is just as wow as something else that you thought was absolutely brilliant. But both have the same significance in your lives. Every moment of your lives is important. I didn't turn my microphone on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. I forgot. So, I don't want to get jolted out of my seat here. The fascinating thing with you is that there's this wonderful soul of you, and the soul of you wants to create joyfully and impeccably and quickly. And it doesn't know right, wrong, good, or bad. The soul of you takes all the free energy that you are existing in and sharing with and commingling with constantly. And there's an element of that energy called chaos. And chaos is not bad or good. It's a neutral energy, but it's an energy, it's the infinite, and it's that infinite, and then the minute that you have an experience, you have determined if it was good or bad, or you have placed upon it some meaning. Every moment of your life. I was thinking of the most interesting memory today. We all have them. Some of those memories we want to forget. Some of those things we said, we think, really? Sometimes, you don't do that? Sometimes there are events, but I remember this in the early 90s. In the early 90s, I had returned from living in the Northwest for a few years, and I rented a house, a Reverend Phoebe Rose Bergen. And in renting this house, I woke up one morning and I went downstairs, and you know how groggy you are in the morning. I'm sure none of you experienced that either, but it's sort of like you suddenly see something in the sink that shouldn't be there, and you think, oh, maybe this is a baby mouse. So I get a Tupperware container, a Rubbermaid thing, you know, and I go on it because I don't know what to do with it, but I don't want to harm it, but it's just this little creature. Okay, so now I've got to get it in there, and then I got to get it outside, okay? And of course, I'm dressed for success. So I don't know what to do. You know, it's like I'm thinking, okay, and you don't know if it's going to skitter across. You know how fast lizards move? Well, you know, I'm expecting this thing's going to take off. Okay, so now I'm awake. Okay, so I get a spatula, and I sort of guide it into the little Rubbermaid dome bowl thing. And suddenly I hear this squeal, and it stretches out its wings. Ooh. It's a baby bat.
Oh, my.
I've never seen a baby bat before. Now, I watched a lot of horror flicks. So I didn't have a knowledge, and here's the deal. I didn't have a knowledge about bats, but I got some. What about you? So at first it alarmed me a little bit that I had this little creature in here going, and I didn't know what to do with it, but I also did know it needed to be in the dark. And here it was daylight. So I'm looking around the kitchen. Now I'm crawling in the cupboards with this one hand holding this, and I'm like this, and I finally pulled out a cookie sheet, and I slid it under the bowl so that the little creature could stay in there. And now I got this thing, right? And I got to manipulate this to get to the door, to unlock the door to get outside. Oh, piece of cake, wasn't it? And I'm dressed for success. Okay. So what did I do? I finally got outside, and there's a step down, and then there, you know, and of course I didn't have my glasses on then either, so I couldn't see quite where I was walking real well. But you know, so you're sort of fumbling and around, and then I'm still trying to hold this thing because I don't want to let it go. Because does it bite? Anyway. So there's this tree over ahead of me, and I walked gingerly over to the tree, and I just opened it up and tried to let it climb into the tree, so it was at least in the dark. Okay. That was my introduction to bats. Then that night at 7 o'clock, when dusk is just happening, two people, unbeknownst to me who knew that there was a difficulty going on, had brought lawn chairs over to sit in the street to watch what was coming out of the attic. I'm not scared. I had finally gotten dressed. I didn't want to be there. But you know what I learned? I learned that these were harmless, and that these were ones that are often handled and shown to children and people in teaching seminars and opportunities. And I learned a lot about being uncomfortable in a living space when I wasn't sure what was going on overhead. However, that experience is something that all of us have had. You have within you the opportunity to know. If you were to know all types of information in your life, you would have been born with that knowledge. But look at all the things you've added to you. And it might have been an experience that was simple. It might have been an experience that you can share with other people. It might be something that's ever seemingly so insignificant to any other human being, and yet it was yours. One reason any job has worked out during the time it worked out for you was because you were there. Any relationship you've been in, one reason that it works at the time that it works is because you are there, and you were there. These women yesterday each have a story, and each of them are going through very unique situations, but I was thinking, you are stronger than you ever realized. We are always that. We are always more than we were yesterday. We're always going to be more than we are today. And you're adding to, your soul is expanding constantly when it's housed in this body. You're adding to you all the time. You may not think it. You may feel stuck from time to time. You may feel limited. But look at all of the incredible people, not just the people that are written about and made movies about, but I told this story at 9/11, 8 years ago? I'm sorry. But there was in Missoula, Montana, some of you might have heard this story, because I just thought it was the dearest thing. In Missoula, Montana, there is a woman, and I don't know her last name. I believe her first name is Krista or Crystal. Anyway, she teaches preschool. And she went out and got fabric and made capes. And when her neighbors and other parents found out what she was doing, they added their little efforts to making costumes for the 3-year-olds. And they would dress up once a month and go into the neighborhoods for different reasons, whether it was a nursing home, whether it was an orphanage or a homeless shelter, and they were dressed as superheroes. Did you learn to be a superhero when you were little? I'll bet you. I'll bet you there was some event or some experience that you had where something that you did. And yet in our lives, sometimes those moments get so overshadowed by other challenges, other needs, other dreams that we might develop. The stories that I love are about people. People being people. And one of the women yesterday wants to move up to the mountains. She's a master gardener, and she's done all kinds of tremendous things in her own community south of Orlando. And yet she and her husband stopped the dream about going to the mountains for now. And I looked right at her and I said, "You've settled." She said, "Settled?" She said, "I'm not sure I like that word." And I said, "But you're settling. You're settling for second best. You're settling for what? when you have a dream and you have a goal and you have something that's in here, the spirit of you pushes forth that soul to expand. And the beauty of it is that desire to expand is constant with you, constant. The spirit of you works best at play. It works least under obligation. And yet so much of our lives becomes obligational. We're obligated to do this. We want to hold on to the past for what? We want to hold on to the past dreams. We want to hold on to the past expectations. What are we holding on to? We can hold on to memories, of course. You can hold on to a lot of things that can show you how to move forward in your life. But haven't you ever noticed that when you are creating something for the future and you just have the spirit of you that wants to do it, that it turns out bigger than you ever dreamed and so much more than a picture you painted before you even opened the tubes? Have you ever noticed? Well, I have. My move to the Northwest was a lot different than I ever anticipated. There were a lot of things in it that were incredibly challenging. All of you have had that. All of you have had situations in your life which have held you back, limited you, created a possible opportunity that became a hurdle, that you either surmounted it, knocked it over, or walked around it. Doesn't matter, whatever you chose to do. But the strength within you is the thing that I'm getting at today. The strength within you is the thing that allows you to want to discover, can I be a healer? The strength within you has an opportunity to want to know more, because that intuition of you, that knowingness, that inner capability that you have, wants to know more and more. And you know why? Because the infinite is you and is all things. The infinite is not outside of you, it's within all things. And because the infinite is in all things, it's important to understand that the infinite, because we're expanding daily, the infinite is adding to itself all the time. The infinite isn't the infinite that it was a day ago. Have you ever thought about that? The infinite adds to itself because of those new ahas, those new moments, those new memories, that new blade of grass that just came up. Wow. And that new insight that you had to use the bowl to put it over that little creature, to scoop it up using a cookie sheet. I thought that was very original. What did you do? How many moments in your life have you done something exceptional and you look back on it and go, wow, I got through that. And I did that all by myself. I'll bet you've had a ton of them. So, one thing, which ones are you concentrating on? Are you concentrating on, like Steve said, there's a cute little Peanuts cartoon. I'll make a copy for you. It's on my refrigerator. It's 4 little frames. And I think it's Linus and Charlie Brown. And Charlie Brown's like this, and it's talking about the posture to have when you're depressed. And Linus is saying, but Charlie Brown, you stand up straight. And Charlie Brown says, no, you've got to stand like this if you're going to get the most out of it. You're stronger than you think about anything. And it's not to be an idealism, it's to be the wind at your back, the wings on your shoulders, the love in your hearts, the efforts that you take and the steps that you make. And it's to know that whatever you do today or in time ahead, there is so much more. The soul of us wants to create because it's a forever thing. It's not going to stop. It's connected to that infinite divine God source, the one you talk about in meditations, and the one that all of you are embracing in some way, shape, or form in your own understanding. It never leaves you. You are always connected. We are all connected. And the beauty of that is you can invite me to dinner. No, that was the other talk last week. Some of you are in classes because you want to learn. Some of you are exploring because you want to know. Some of you are stuck because you don't think there's anything more. Some of you are feeling that if you can't have it the way you think you ought to have it, that it can't result for you. Some of you are doing what? I'm not here criticizing. I'm just saying the world is full of all of us. And the potentials for each of us are infinite. And if those infinite, unlimited potentials are out there, in here, you may wake up one morning and want to take a step, just like my sweet friend yesterday. Do it. You're worth it. Thank you.